This is my 2016 Focus ST with the ST3 package. Car is, for the most part, stock. Did come factory with premium wheels. And with the ST3 package, you have the full leather heated Recaro racing seats. All 4 seats, full leather. This car also does have the carbon fiber trim package, which gives you the carbon fiber on the door panels here, the e-brake handle, the shift knob, and the gauge cluster. As you can, it's kind of hard to see in the light here, but right here is all the carbon fiber. All Focuses, or Focus STs I should say, have the gauge pillar up here. You got the oil temperature, boost, and oil pressure at the end. I have heard that they're not the most accurate things in the world, but they get the job done. I haven't noticed any real issues with them. Being the ST3 package, this comes with the ST2 package as well. It's got the touchscreen with Ford Sync 3. It's the 10-speaker Sony premium Sony system and the factory subwoofer in the trunk. Sounds pretty good for being stock. I didn't think it was bad enough to... I didn't think it was ever bad enough to monkey with new speakers or a new sub or anything. It got the job done. I was happy with it. And I am kind of an audiophile, so I guess that says something. A lot of people put LEDs in there. I haven't touched it. Really no need to. Going around to the back of the car, I have just an eBay like $50 wing riser kit. It's actually pretty easy to install. I would recommend having a buddy on hand just because it's kind of awkward holding it. But all it is just these little, kind of hard to see, a spacer there, spacer there, spacer there, and 2 more on the corners. And hard to see, but camera focuses. You have to put stickers over the holes where the wing used to mount into. I'm in Wisconsin, and that lasted 1 winter so far. I have not had any leakage issues. And with the wing riser kit, because when you open up the rear hatch, the factory antenna likes to hit right in the middle here. So I bought the stubby antenna off Amazon. I think it's $20 or $25. I have not had any reception issues. Some people are always nervous that because it's shorter that you might not get as good reception as factory, but I have not noticed any issues with it. I'm very happy. Back here, the one obvious mod that you probably found already is the exhaust. This is the Tsudo. Forgive me if I'm saying that wrong. I believe it's TSUDO, something like that. Just an eBay kit. It's pretty much the cheapest one that you can find. I think it was $350. 3-inch catback. I think there's a resonator on it, but believe me, it doesn't do anything. It is loud. It is very obnoxious. I love it, but if you're cruising down the freeway at 80 miles an hour, it gets annoying if you're driving for more than half an hour. It's definitely noticeable inside of the cabin. Going around this side. Again, all stock. And I don't think you're going to be able to see it, but I do have a TurboSmart 50/50 blow-off valve. I went with that one because the Boomba is just, to me, it's too obnoxious. I mean, that one is just too loud for me, so I went with TurboSmart, and it was a little cheaper. Very happy with it. No issues. As far as any other mods, I did the FX Works short shift plate. I don't think you're really going to be able to see it. You can kind of see it in there. You can see where the shift cable goes on, that black plate. I have it set at a 30% shorter throw. I believe it has 20, 30, and 40%. I heard some people had issues with at 40% with kind of binding issues, so I put it at 30%, and I was happy enough with it where I didn't feel like taking it all back apart. So I left it at 30%. To install that, it's relatively easy. If you're a little bit mechanically inclined, you just have to take the air cleaner box out and these little pipes here, and you are pretty much right there. And while I was in there, it's hard to see, but the shift cable bushing here, I replaced the factory bushings with the Ronin factory fully aluminum bushings. They're a little pricey. For 2 bushings it's like $50, but it makes a hell of a difference. There is no more slop. There is no slop in the shifter, and it's a very distinct clunk. You might even be able to hear it. I'm very happy with it. Definitely a lot cheaper and easier than going with an entire legitimate short shifter. I think that's kind of a waste of money unless you're like actually taking this car to a track. But this is my daily, and I was, for the, I think $160 or something I had into it, I'm super happy. Install of the bushings is actually kind of sketchy because you do have to break the old bushings apart, and if you've never done it before, it's kind of scary because, like I said, you literally have to break it. So there were a couple of videos online that I found that helped me with it, but hopefully, I don't know, if one of my buddies bring their car over and want it, I'll do a really nice install video. One other thing that I did is install the Sound Composer Delete. I highly recommend that, especially if you have a aftermarket exhaust on the Focus, because otherwise, I don't know, the fake sound on the inside just is kind of annoying, especially when you have exhaust. I mean, you just want to hear the exhaust, you don't want to hear the false intake noise, which I guess technically it isn't false because it actually is intake noise, but I don't know, I didn't like it. And it frees up a lot of space in here, because otherwise, if you ever seen a stock one, you got your valve that bolts up to here. You can see I put the screw back in its place, and it goes into your cabin right here. There's just a plug that comes with the kit that blocks it off, and then obviously you just bolt. There's an O-ring on this plate that just bolts into its factory spot, and it doesn't set any codes or engine lights or anything. You can just take it off, and the kit's like $20. I can't honestly remember the brand. But that is it. Again, that is a 2016 Focus with the ST3 package. Any questions, just leave a comment or send me a message. I'll try to help you as best I can.